Welcome to Pipin' Hot, where the takes are hot and the boys are not. Today's take is
Oat Milk is Overrated.
What?
Takes are hot.
The boys are not.
Welcome back to Pipin' Hot. Today, we have a very special guest, Meena.
Yeah. Woo!
I got a sound effect.
Yes, sir.
The past 3 episodes, we've introduced the person, and then it's just been silent, and it's been really awkward.
It's been very. We needed a soundboard.
All right. So this is my buddy Meena, and
Welcome to the show.
this is a take that I was not expecting.
Yeah.
We'd approved a different take, and now we're getting another take. This is unbelievable, and I'm actually glad because I disagree. So I'm excited to get into this later.
Perfect. Yeah, I feel like the one that we had originally was a little deep.
A little deep.
Yeah.
Deep is fine. We've done deep a few times.
Okay, I will be using this episode as my therapy session. So,
Yeah.
so for that,
This is your time.
I think that's why me and Cameron do it. I'm not gonna lie. Cameron lives with a therapist and still does this with me. So.
That's true. I do.
Man.
As much as I can
To
get.
psychoanalyzed.
Do you
all the time.
psychoanalyze me? I psychoanalyze you.
Do we want to get into that this episode?
All right, let's start with Cameron. What's been hot for you this week? I'm curious.
Bro, I actually came prepared this episode with
Yes,
something. So,
beautiful.
you
Love to
know, longtime listeners of the show know that typically I always forget about this section of the podcast. It's a third of our entire show, and I still forget to prepare. But there's this little iPhone game that's captured my attention for the past month. And usually, these little games are just things that, you fill up your time between classes. They're not a big deal. But this is the type of one that you sit down to play and 3 hours go by and you still have not done anything you set out to do. But it's this little game called Retro Bowl. And it's just this 8-bit little football game. It's like the Madden on iPhone. And everyone since Madden 22 came out has started playing this little game because it's just so much fun. And I can't explain why. It's just you tap here and there, you click and drag here and there, and 3 hours will go by. It is so addicting. And it's taken up so much of my time over the past week. I can't get enough of it. It's amazing. I'm in my 11th season as a football coach in this little game.
In a week.
11 seasons of 22 games. I've played 11 times 22 worth of games on this little app. It is, it's addicting, and I can't get enough of it. And I've been playing it nonstop for the past couple weeks, maybe a month at this point. I don't know. Time is no meaning anymore. So would recommend
what's
to
the
anyone
name
out
again?
there.
Yeah, wait, what'd you?
Retro Bowl, like Super
Retro.
Bowl, but Retro Bowl, because it's all 8-bit. It looks like a really old video game. It is so sick. Would recommend. It's free. Anyone can play it, but beware because you
That's
will
actually
lose a
so
lot of
exciting.
productivity. I'm so hyped. I haven't had a fun iPhone game to play for a while.
Since
I feel
Flappy Bird.
probably since middle school. Yeah, exactly. Since Doodle Jump. But it's a
Jetpack
banger. Would recommend.
Damn, I haven't played an iPhone game. I mean, the only one that I do consistently is Pokemon Go, and that barely counts as kind of a video game.
You still do.
Pokemon Go is a
dude, it's fun as
classic.
hell. Are you kidding me?
It's so good.
It's fun now because only the people that are ride or dies do it. So
Okay,
everyone's
yeah,
kind
no,
of
of
intense about it.
It's great.
It's awesome.
Yeah, Pokemon Go still holds up, to be honest.
I have
It's
yet.
still
You've spent real
fantastic.
money in the game, right? I have not.
Not on Pokemon Go,
Oh,
I
I thought
haven't
you said you bought
actually.
space.
No, I never. Well, with the coins you get for
Oh.
keeping Pokemon in gyms, but I never actually put money into Pokemon Go. I have not done that yet.
I don't really do the whole gym thing, so I may need to buy more storage because I want to pull more Pokemon.
Would recommend. But I want to go back. You mentioned Jetpack Joyride earlier. Fun fact: the only game I've ever 100% completed on PlayStation was Jetpack
You
Joyride.
play Jetpack Joyride on PlayStation?
Yeah, dude. At least on the Vita. Back in the day, I used to have a little
Oh.
Vita in middle school. Only game I ever got platinum on. So if anyone is out there is a PlayStation user, that's the only game I've got platinum on. Shout out Bruce Dong. I know you have every platinum game, but
You can play it on Apple TV because our friend
Oh,
Robin
really?
has it on Apple TV. We played
Oh,
it.
really?
Damn.
Played it.
I don't know what you're talking
You
about.
play Jetpack Joyride?
I'm just kinda
Ooh,
nodding
gotta
my
get
head.
on
Did you have
Jetpack
any,
Joyride.
I
iPhone
don't
games?
know. I thought you were talking about like a PS4 game or something.
No, like iPhone. Did you have it? Did you in high school do any iPhone games?
No, I did have a social life, so I did.
Oh!
Well, that's the end of
It's
today's
been-
episode, folks. Thank you for
It's been
tuning in. It's been a great...
less than
Meena, it's
5
been a
minutes.
pleasure having you on the show.
We've already been burned. Unbelievable.
Woo.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, wow.
All right then. What's time for you?
Okay, honestly, Emily Ratajkowski,
Really?
pretty
Interesting.
hot.
Pretty hot for sure.
I mean, she is very hot.
Yeah.
First of all, but she just came out with a book called My Body, and you know when celebrities have like a form of media come out, they're always on like interviews and
Mhm.
stuff. And the whole Robin Thicke thing that came out, that was in the book.
Interesting.
And I just learned a lot of things, you know, like how she's constantly over sexualized.
Mhm.
That apparently caused like disassociation
Oh my god.
in her body. And so I don't know if this is like too graphic, but in an interview, she was like, when I am intimate with my
Yeah.
husband, I have to do it in front of a mirror because I like
Oh my god.
have to look. I was just like,
Damn.
oh my God, she's really interesting. And I feel like no one really ever had a hot take about Emily. She's like, oh, she's hot and
Right.
she's in like a model, but she's really interesting and really well articulated.
I
So-
believe it. I mean, I have not listened to any interviews with her specifically, but I remember when all this stuff, when like Megan Fox was going on a bunch of talk shows and talking about how over-sexualized she was. There was that one on Jimmy Kimmel that kind of blew up because Jimmy Kimmel was making jokes about it, and she was talking about like how she was 16 and getting over-sexualized. And a lot of people that are put through that like really are very self-reflective about it for the most
Yeah.
part, that are public about it. It's really fascinating.
It really is, and she, I don't know, like when with the whole Robin Thicke thing, like, and just like as a kid, like I guess over sexualization of her body caused her to like disassociate from it,
Damn.
which was crazy. But then the Megan, I think there's definitely like maybe another hot take. Pretty people have it hard. I would know.
You would know.
Yeah. So but yeah, she's hot inside and out for me.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, hot take.
Very
Pretty people have it
insightful.
hard. I can believe that. I still have no sympathy for them, but I hate
Damn.
you.
Damn. This person
But-
puts their
you
soul
read the
into a book.
I'm honestly about to.
Yeah.
I think she had a baby. I didn't even know she was married.
Is she married to someone famous? 'Cause otherwise I
Probably
don't give a fuck.
probably someone less attractive.
I would guess that there are very few men in the league of Emily Ratajkowski.
I still am getting over Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly. Like
That's not gonna last.
really,
That's
you really
crazy.
think?
He's draining the lifeblood from that man. he's gonna like become Flat Stanley and he's gonna dip.
She already looks like the man
did
is
you
like.
see Jennifer's body?
Yeah,
It looks like she's doing Jennifer's body. Like it genuinely does.
like what in that
Like
GQ
to
interview?
to stay young and healthy and sexy, she's like draining his life force.
I mean, if we have to sacrifice Machine Gun Kelly for Megan
Megan
Fox,
Fox?
so be it.
I'm okay
Like, I
with
think
it.
that's that's
really
worth.
okay with it.
Like,
That's another thing. I feel like a lot of hot actresses are not given enough credit as actresses. Period. Like Megan Fox is really talented. I haven't seen Emily Ratajkowski in anything. What's she known for?
She was in Gone Girl,
Oh,
but she was also like she was the mistress.
yeah.
Like,
because I can't say whether she's good or not. But I like every time I see Megan Fox in like a serious role. Like I actually thought she did a really good job in New Girl. Like that's not a serious role. But,
Yeah,
like,
she
she's
did.
like
she did
really
great.
talented.
That was really
like
fun.
Margot Robbie,
Yeah, oh,
incredible,
yeah.
incredible.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up New Girl because I was trying to think what Megan Fox has been in, and I straight up could only think of Transformers. And I was like,
Transformers.
yeah, she did really well in that
Yeah.
series. She was great.
she's not bad in Transformers, you know.
No, but
did
I
what
feel
she
like she
did.
probably doesn't want to be remembered for like only Transformers.
Well, I think that's one of the roles she was saying how sexualized she was.
And definitely, yeah, Michael Bay has a pretty bad history of doing that with most actresses in his movies. From
Michael
what I've
Bay
heard,
has
so.
a bad history. End of sentence.
End of sentence. Yeah, fair enough.
Well, mine is also a book.
Okay.
I've been reading this book called Love and Other Thought Experiments.
Do you read?
I do read. I
Really?
try my best.
How often?
I do like a book a month,
Okay.
so it's not anything sexy, but I think I'm trying to get to 20 on the year. I'm at like 18.
Oh, that's
I'm
That's good.
trying to.
That's
that's
real good.
admirable. What's the
It
book
only
about?
started during COVID because I hadn't finished a book probably in like 5 years, and then COVID hit, and actually at the time before COVID even was relevant, I think I started in like January because like my New Year's resolution was like I'm gonna read more, and I was reading this book called The Hot Zone, and it's a book from the '80s, pretty famous book, but it's about the Ebola outbreak of the '80s.
Oh my god.
Oh, I remember you telling us about this one. That's crazy.
It's
yeah.
Like I don't think it could ever be depicted on. It was. I think National Geographic made a movie about it, but it explains Ebola in like a narrative way, and it is the scariest book I've ever read. It is horrifying. And then COVID hit, and I was in the middle of reading it, and I was like, oh fuck.
It's rough timing.
But then I started reading more after that. So I read this book called Love and Other Thought Experiments, which is really interesting. I picked it up randomly at a bookstore, and it's this first-time writer. I'll put her name in the notes. I totally forget her name. But she's British, and it's 10 chapters that are 10 thought experiments, and it's all characters in the same realm. So like all the characters know each other, and each story is based on one of the thought experiments. So it's like, I'm trying to think of one of the good ones, like What Mary Knew, the one about like the studying color, but she lives in a world of black and white, like that thought experiment. Like The Prisoner's Dilemma, like that kind of thing, and it's all based around that. And it wasn't until like the third chapter that I realized it was all characters that knew each other, and so you get like inklings of other people's stories per each chapter. And then I found it really interesting because I don't necessarily get why each chapter is for that thought experiment unless you really think about it. So it's like one of those books that like I can't just like read and then put down. Like I have to like read it and then like go to bed, and like I don't fall asleep for an hour because I'm like ruminating on like why the fuck was that the zombie paradox or whatever.
Interesting.
So it's it's a little bit it doesn't suck you in as much because it is 10 separate stories realistically, and it is a little bit heady. But the font's big; it's an easy read. So
What's it called?
It's called Love and Other Thought Experiments.
Love and Other Thought Experiments.
You can borrow it. I'm done. It's cute.
Book club.
That sounds really
Yeah.
good.
Oh,
Book club.
I would love to start a book club.
I
dude.
listen.
I did.
I would join.
Oh, the next book that I have on my shelf right there is called The Cabinet. It's by Eun-Soo Kim. It's a South Korean writer, and my friend who's in South Korea right now, speaks Korean. And so I was like, hey, do you want to read it with me, but you read it in Korean and I read it in English, and then we can compare.
That'd be
Which I think
fun.
would be really cool, but I don't know if she'll be up for it.
That'd be super fun.
But I would love to do a book club. Because I finish all these books and I'm like, I can't talk about it with anybody. People have read, I just finished The Handmaid's Tale, though. People have read that.
Oh yeah, that show was also really good. Yeah.
Did you like the show?
Yeah.
I haven't done the show yet.
Oh, I think you'd love the show.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
I think I watched the first few episodes in freshman year and it was hard to stomach, and so I took a break. And then,
yeah, I remember I went to the Women's March for a few years, and like they would dress up as.
Which is,
funny.
Yeah, which is like, ooh,
yeah, some of the scenes are just like.
That's the thing. Like I could do like an episode a night. I was like, oh,
I was like, ooh.
It's heavy.
It's like gray and kind of dark.
The book is a little slow. It's like kind of boring in the beginning. Like nothing really happens, and then the last like quarter of it like really picks up. And so I ended up liking it a lot. But it was kind of hard to treasure through because it's also like hard subject matter. You're like, I don't know if I want to be reading this.
It's kind of sad.
But
yeah, when do you?
God, does that woman know how to write a simile? Like Jesus Christ, the metaphors in that book are gorgeous.
When do you guys typically read? Because I feel like there are things where it's like I typically only read right before I go to sleep, so I feel like I tend to stray away from certain. Like I wouldn't want to read something like all that heavy because it's like if I'm trying to go to sleep, like I'm just trying to get something that's like I'm kind of sleepy already. It's like I'm just gonna like fall asleep right after. So I feel like I typically tend towards more like just like pretty basal, just like story books in a way, and I feel like it totally depends on when you read towards like what you are more inclined to read about.
Yeah, I read before bed, or I try to. But I also realize like I consume so much media. Like I'm somebody who will sit down if I don't have anything to do at night. I will sit down at 7 o'clock and watch a movie. And so I've decided I'm binging shows, whatever. And so I've decided like certain parts during the day. I'm like, I've been watching a lot of TV. I'm just gonna sit down and read for an hour instead. Because like, it feels like more. Because it goes by slower, it feels like more of a time waste, but like, it's just as impactful, if not more so than, watching a movie. I've tried to do nonfiction books sometimes. Like I read this book at the beginning of the year called The Architecture of Happiness. and I cannot do that shit before bed. That was hard. That sucks. That
No,
was the worst.
that would be real tough. Like I remember, like yeah, exactly what you're saying. Like the most recent nonfiction I think I read was, I want to say it was like a Ruth Bader Ginsburg autobiography. I
Didn't
think.
you get it
Yeah.
for your birthday or
And
Christmas or
I
something?
got it for Christmas, yeah, because
Yeah.
like my parents knew there's like this like awkward month between like Christmas break and school starting again, where like my job wasn't starting until the semester started, school wasn't starting, so it was just like 4 weeks of like kind of nothing. And so like my parents just got me a lot of books, and that one was one of the last ones I started to read, and like it was pretty easy to get through because I was reading it on my way to work. And I had a 2-hour commute to and from work. So that was 2 hours of just like
nice.
reading
Oh my gosh.
nonfiction. But it's like during the day where it's like you're already awake, like you can think about what you're reading. But like I remember, as I got more into the semester and started having less time, I tried to read it before bed sometimes because I still wanted to finish the book. And I get like 5 minutes in and be like, I can't do this. I'm like, I just like it's working and getting me to fall asleep, but it's like it's not what I want to
It's
be reading
effective.
like right before. It's super effective, but yeah, I totally agree. Like what time I'm reading at totally depends on like what holds my attention the
Yeah.
most for sure.
Are you a reader?
I am. I'm trying to think. I read the most on summer break and on vacations because I
sure.
really do like reading for leisure because currently I just have to read so much for classes,
Yeah.
academic purposes. I think I can answer like, oh, when do I listen to like podcasts the most? And
Mhm.
that's commuting in the shower. I know like a lot of people read nonfiction for like health,
Yeah. Yep.
history. A lot of that stuff I get from my podcast, and then books I really do just like to be pure fiction. My favorite author is this guy named Matt Haig. He wrote like The Midnight Library.
I've wanted to read
Yeah.
that.
Oh my
My
God,
mom
it is
loves it.
phenomenal. I think like 100 Reasons to Stay Alive or something. Just really happy, good books because I love reading articles. I'll read a bunch of articles from like the New York Times. I collect like National Geographic or Time special edition magazines.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm like, like there's always new research coming out about, diet, happiness, lifestyle, stuff like that. So I always read those. Um but yeah, I wish I was a mysterious girl with a book in my bag, but that's not always me, unfortunately.
I felt like I got my COVID booster today, and I was sitting there waiting for 15 minutes, and I was like, "Is my book on me?" And I felt like my superior complex was going
I'm
off
better
the
than all of
rails.
you.
Like I was like, everyone was on their phone, and I was reading my book, and I was like, am I better than everyone? I gotta get out of that though. I really do. Oh, I was like waiting for something else. I was waiting for a DeFi thing, and I was sitting there waiting. I was reading, and one of the other guys came in, and he was like, "Oh, you're a reader," and I was like, "Yeah."
Your lies. How does it feel to be an imposter?
Oof.
It's my everyday.
It's my
It's
everyday. Welcome.
Every day.
The imposter syndrome is just off the charts.
Oh my God.
Hey Cam,
Hey Casey,
you know what I hate?
when an ad interrupts your favorite podcast, I hate that.
Absolutely. And that's why today's episode is brought to you by Pipin' Hot. We want to take some time to ask you, the listeners, to give us a like, give us a follow, give us a subscription, a comment. Any type of engagement helps us out, and we really love hearing from you, the listeners.
And we want to say thank you to all the listeners who've already listened this far into the podcast. And now it's time for us to stop being such hypocrites and get back to the episode.
Back to the main event. We're chewing some Sour Patch Kids.
What, y'all have Sour Patch Kids?
Yeah, baby.
I'm lacking.
Well, we're not making Meena do anything spicy, and she brought sour stuff.
That's fair enough. I
Salivate.
respect that.
You have your
Hold on.
water.
Okay.
I'll spit in your mouth. I am water. I am drugs.
It's for Pipin'
What is it?
Hot
I am
Kids.
weed.
I am
Or
weird. Dude, I wanted to talk about that when we were talking about Machine Gun Kelly, but like I like missed the opportunity. That's the funniest
Did
shit
you
ever.
Did you see the thing? Somebody tweeted it. It was like a book by. Oh fuck! Who was it? It was somebody like Salvador Dali, but I don't think it was. It was in that realm of
Mhm.
academic artists, and it was like. I don't do drugs, said Dali. I am drugs. And somebody tweeted, no way. I don't know if it was him, but
God damn it.
all right, let's get into oat milk.
Let's talk about oat milk.
I feel like
You
wow.
gotta
I listened to the season opener.
yeah.
And I think you were like, oh, we try to talk about, we don't try to, like, let's not talk about political hot takes right now. And I feel like this is almost as controversial
This is
It
pretty
as the
could be.
political hot
This
take, yeah.
could be.
Okay.
Opening arguments.
So you're defending it? Or like you're defending
Well,
you're
it's-
defending oat milk.
The way it works is you just give the arguments, and then we all just fight.
Okay.
Mediator. But this is one of the takes that I can say up front. Most of the time, it's like 50-50 that I agree and don't. I disagree with this one. So.
Oat milk. By me. Oat milk sucks. First of all, and listen,
It's like spoken word.
I feel like a lot of people who drink oat milk are fake because, I would never drink milk. Lactose is awful. Girl, there is cheese in your sandwich. There's ice cream in your freezer. First of all, so let's get off our lactose high horse, first of all.
Okay.
Second of all, I'm embarrassed. Like, when I go to order coffee, I'm like, oh, can I have a latte with oat milk? Like, I feel like part of the barista dies inside.
Yeah.
Like,
For sure.
the poor ladies at the Starbucks, when they tell every girl, I'm sorry, we are out of oat milk. And then, oh, can I get almond milk? Don't even get me started. Like, that's nut juice.
Almond milk is pretty gross.
Trash.
I'm not a fan of almond milk.
I think it's savory. It tastes strange. I like the idea. I think, most people are intolerant to milk. So,
Sure.
Finding a milk
Unless
alternative
you're
is fine.
Irish.
Well, they're kind of sus, but anyway.
Right? Isn't it
Yeah,
Irish?
that's a
Is that
little
true?
strange.
Is there like a heavy genetic
Actually,
component?
the people who are vitamin D deficient in areas that don't have a lot of sun typically tend to be more tolerant to milk because of that.
Mm.
So you
I
find
wonder
that.
I can pound a carton of milk.
That's not a flex.
Gallon of milk down the hatch, baby.
That now they have oat milk ice creams and coffee creamers. They're more expensive.
True.
No one's gonna drink them. The people who do drink them suck.
No one I want to spend time with will drink them.
If the girl who orders an oat milk iced latte, I do judge you, and I feel like you judge yourself too.
This is a PSA.
So let's bring it back down. I think coconut milk is great. Even skim I feel like is a little bit lighter on the stomach. But oat milk is just ravaging the country, and I'm not here for it.
Okay. Do you?
Argument closed.
That was a pretty good. We have yet
That's-
to have a really solid opening argument. It's usually people being like, I don't like this thing, and then a few other sentences, and then we just talk about it. So
Okay.
that
That was
a
very well
solid
thought out. Very
I
well
had my
prepared.
thesis
argument.
statement, and
I feel like
Drew the
every
audience in,
yeah.
antagonize the jury.
Yeah. I feel like every counterpoint I was coming up with, you just addressed in the next sentence. So I'm kind of fumbling for a response here, but
Okay, I'm very passionate about milk.
Is there oat milk in your freezer or
There's-
fridge?
There is oat milk. In my
Take it
fridge.
out. Pour it out.
Pour it
Down
out
the
for
sink.
Down for the homies. I'm a big milk advocate because my parents were, a slut to advertising, and the Got Milk campaign.
Oh, that
really
was
got 'em.
awful. That
really
is
got them. So we were like a.
milk
I'm
mustard.
realizing how impactful milk was to my childhood. We couldn't finish dinner without having a glass of milk. We'd have a glass of milk with dinner.
ooh.
With dinner?
With dinner.
Oh, people like you
The
scare me.
glass cup that we had a little cow on it. And ever since I was 15, we get our milk delivered. We get it from a farm.
Like
And
a
we get-
milkman.
We get a glass, gallon of milk, and
Is
a
this like
milkman
whole milk?
comes. Yeah, I think
Oh
so.
my god.
Cam, were you the one that got scared by the milkman leaving my house one time?
We all did. We were all. I think everyone was at your house that night, and yeah, the milkman arrived. It was like
'Cause it was,
11
Wednesday
p.m.
at midnight.
Yeah, it was so late. I was like, why is the milkman here?
Because they come because the farm is an hour away. There's no milk farm in Annapolis, Maryland. So they are driving all around. They get they have a subscription service or
Oh
whatever.
my god.
Unbelievable.
And so I really like I grew up drinking milk, just straight milk. So I genuinely enjoy the taste of milk. I like having milk.
Can you tell the difference between the milk that you would buy at the grocery store and then the milk that the milkman would bring
Yeah,
you?
actually, it's surprising.
That's embarrassing.
It's surprising. It's not that I'm not like when I drink milk from the grocery store, I'm like, ew. Like,
Disgusting.
like it's.
He swirls
it's
it
still
around like a
milk.
fine wine, kind of sniffs it a little bit.
I think I have done that before. I think my friends did that. Like
Low
to try
fat.
it.
That is so funny.
Yeah.
2%.
2%. Oh, it came from an organic cow.
This is a grass-fed only. No, it's. So I wanted to find an alternative milk because I realized that I was, getting stomach problems because I turned 18. And so I was like, I want to find an alternative milk that tastes like milk.
Mhm.
And when you said oat milk is savory, I think regular milk is fairly savory. Like, there's not really a sweetness to milk. And so all of the milks that I've had are like kind of sweet, or they're usually like vanilla flavored sometimes.
Yeah.
And so I tried to find the flavorless ones, and even those ones were kind of weird. And I just thought for me, oat milk tasted the closest to milk. Has a little bit of like a thinner consistency, but it's closer to skim milk, I guess. And there's one brand that I really like. Like, the one that we get now is like because I just get it delivered and there's no other
Is it from
option.
Aldi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that one's like but the one that's like the one that is slim thick and has the
Is it
Mhm.
Oatly?
Oatly, I think
Yeah.
Oatly.
We should
Um,
have a cup of oat milk right now.
I could get one for the next segment.
Yeah,
after we
definitely.
Yeah, I think you have
to compare it.
Like how I
And
want.
I'll put it in a wine glass. And so I also, like I'm a bisexual man. Like, I need to like oat milk. I think that's like one of the stereotypes.
I think
that one of the
you
criteria?
like.
I need to have a.
If I was a barista, every time someone would order an oat milk latte, like, I would know that they would be ordering an
I would
oat
call
milk
them a
latte
slur.
before they even approach the register. If you have a tote bag, you are ordering an oat milk latte.
How dare you?
There's
My
your tote bag
it's
right
It's literally
there.
right there. I also, if you're a bisexual man, you have to like oat milk, carry a tote bag, have a mustache, which might be coming soon. I may be getting a mustache soon.
Like how that sounds like you ordered it online. You're like,
I
guys,
did.
it's coming
It's
in,
right
delivered.
Oh my God.
I just haven't unopened it yet.
It's to go with my little Ted Lasso shirt. Did I show you this yet? My
No,
Ted
I
Lasso
noticed it
temple
earlier.
shirt.
That's
It's
sick,
a
though.
temple themed Ted Lasso shirt.
God damn it. Y'all got 6 shirts at Temple. Maryland's shirt game is lacking, frankly.
No, my God, you guys have the one that's like you have the
Yeah,
Run DMV.
in the past
and
in the past we've had good
College
ones, but
Park.
like this year, like we had one celebrating like the opening of our new football facility, and it was just
It was
like
like, a
it was
kid
lame
died,
as shit. It
sorry.
was just like, yeah, I was like, what is going on? Like the Jurassic Park one is so sick.
one was
Run
nice.
DMV is sick, but like this year, I mean, basketball hasn't started yet, and basketball always has the coolest ones. But like
It starts
all
tonight,
the
right?
yeah, I think
Yeah.
no, last night we started last night, I think,
Oh, I'm going to the
Um,
game tonight. So
which is hype.
What does it mean when something is ice?
ice,
Yeah.
Like icy, drippy.
Why
icy.
can't you just say fire? Like, oh, that's
So
fire.
I could say both. I like ice better. Less syllables. It's less words.
Linguistic king.
Skis.
God damn it.
Have you seen the TikTok where the like young dad has a girl who's like 2 and they do a little podcast together
Mhm.
and then she always says that his outfit is steezy. He says he's like a surfer bro. It's my favorite
They're
account,
cute.
genuinely.
Well, hold up. I want to go back to the milk conversation for just a second.
You haven't
here,
given
just
really
a
your
second.
Yeah,
take on
please.
it.
I haven't,
Yeah.
but before I guess I'll give my take and then I have a question at the end of it. So I feel like I've always thought milk was a little gross. So I kind of
It
lean
It's a little.
towards
a little
like
gross.
I
love
like
it.
the
Still
alternatives.
gross.
Like I don't mind almond milk or oat milk, coconut milk, even soy milk. I don't mind too much. I think they're fine. I don't even drink those milk. I'm just not a milk person in general. Unless it
Mhm.
comes with cookies, then you have to have milk
True,
with
you
it.
have
Then
to.
you have
Any
to.
kind of chocolate, in my opinion.
But I feel like Casey, we know. I don't know if he's more so than you are, but our friend Will is kind of a milk stan. Like I feel like of the 4 of us, he really
Cancel
goes for
him
milk.
immediately.
He's been canceled more than once.
So Meena, would you consider yourself a dairy milk stan? Like are you like Casey where you gotta have your glass of milk in the morning and your glass of milk in the evening? Or is it
No,
just
I'm
the
not
fact that
associated.
like milk alternatives aren't
Not
it?
Patrick Bateman.
I don't like milk as a whole. I find it quite strange to eat. Like
You don't
dri-
eat it,
eat-
you drink it. you
Like, you're-
dumbass. Get off my podcast.
like as
Leave
a
the Sour
as
Patch
a
Kids.
species, I feel like it should be I'm not going to do this, but like a humans like that. I'm not gonna
I
s-
see where you're
I'm not gonna
going.
stray on that point for too
And
long.
I think the hot take should be breast milk should be
Delicious.
Humans should drink breast milk. Is Meena's hot take? Put that on the record.
That's on
I
the cover.
stopped watching BuzzFeed after they put that as the video. Like, they have individuals drinking, and then they bring the woman in that they took the milk from, and they're like, "Wow, it tastes really good." I was
What
like,
the
Oh
I am
my
done.
god. Horrifying.
I love Greek yogurt. I love ice cream. I love cheese, and I'm not a fake person.
Oh, see, I don't
So
care.
I wasn't done
eat all of
talking.
those.
I was not done.
Shut the fuck up.
And so well, you know what? First comes the oat milk, and then comes the oat cheese
Nope.
and the oat yolk. Yeah. Oh, you think I'm kidding?
No, I know
Watch
you're not
it.
kidding. I'm
Look
saying I'm
in
not
your
gonna eat
local
it.
Whole Foods. Well, you know what? I bet 2 years ago you didn't think you were gonna drink oat milk.
That's probably true.
And
actually.
here we
That's a
are.
good point.
So you need to catch yourself before you get brainwashed.
Mhm.
People are gonna be like, "Wow, she really likes milk. Like, that's really gross." I think I am an appreciator of dairy products, but
Yeah.
I am not a dairy stan, as your friend Will would
Okay.
be.
I would consider
Interesting.
myself a dairy stan.
Okay.
A dairy stan, an oat.
Yeah, because all my favorite foods are dairy, and like the thing is, like I will like when I go home, I'll still drink a glass of milk. Like oat milk is not my alternative because I think
Casey,
it's easier on the stomach. It's not.
have you ever broken a bone?
No.
Okay, so I guess there is some like quality to drinking milk as much as you do, because I feel like
I saw something that like actually it makes them more fragile.
It
was, like,
does.
a
Yeah,
fake thing.
I didn't want to
osteoporosis,
go
if
into
you
that
look at,
because the density of your bones
studies.
has very little to do with your calcium consumption, but that's generally like spoken and known as like
Can we
how.
have a Dr. Cameron segment?
Yeah, sure, let's do it. Let's talk about for
Can you
30
make
seconds.
sure-
Hold on, for 30 seconds, I'm gonna get on my soapbox for a second. Yeah, so
Yes.
so bone density and bone strength has nothing to do with how much calcium you eat. Obviously, if you had 0 calcium, you might see some minor adverse side effects. But overall, your bone strength has to do with this concept known as Wolff's Law, which is basically that your bones only grow, strengthen, and basically become more dense with mechanical loading. So if you were to sit down forever, your bones would degrade. If you were to stand forever, you would have the strongest bones in the world. So the amount of calcium you eat doesn't matter, but how much you use your bones definitely matters. And I'm going off. Thank you very much.
It's about drive. It's about
Power.
Power. That's really interesting. I guess I could have. That's why weightlifting is probably really good when
Mhm.
done safely. Yeah.
I kind of want to know the person sitting down forever whose bones disintegrate.
The person in a coma, Casey.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry to the person in a coma.
Our Space Force soldiers in space right now, Casey, are currently having no bones.
Donald Trump.
Permanent no bones
Part
days.
of the Space Force. Damn, I forgot we did that.
How could you forget about our 6th branch of the military, Casey?
Dang, I thought there
Our
were 3.
astronauts?
Presidential.
And
Bank of
judicial.
America. It's a joke from Insecure. I stole that from Insecure.
God damn it.
Joke stealer.
I'm a joke stealer.
Unbelievable.
So yeah, oat milk is not the
Is
greatest.
that
thing.
the rest that you have on oat milk?
I
We
fe-
never declare a winner, which I think
I
you've
think-
beaten me.
Uh,
Were you pro, anti? What did you say?
You know, I like haven't drunk a glass of milk in probably like 4 years, so I'm kind of
Damn.
like in agreement. Like if I'm
I
gonna
can
drink
verify that
milk,
that's a lie.
with me.
if I'm gonna
That's
drink
fine.
milk, I'm gonna drink real milk. And like milk substitutes are just kind of trying to achieve what lactose milk already does correctly.
Right.
So I'm
Which is
kind of on
why-
team. I kind of agree that oat milk is arguably one of the worst. I feel like almond milk and soy milk are the strongest
But it
cases,
tastes
but
more like milk.
it's too watery.
tastes-
It's weird. Milk should be creamy.
Creamy and not savory.
I'm trying to cream in my milk for sure.
That's the segment. All right.
Hi everyone, it's Sophia, and today I'm going to be talking about my favorite college sports mascot. So as a little preface, I know nothing about college sports, I know nothing about mascots, I know nothing about college sports mascots. So everything I say here is based on vibes, it's not based on anything I know about any school or any history or like literally anything. I'm a little dumb. So on that note, my favorite, based purely on this description on this website that ranks different mascots, my favorite is Louisiana State University's Mike the Tiger, because Mike the Tiger stays in a habitat and this website says that he spends his days roaming his habitat and eating ground meat versions of opposing team logos, which I think is so funny. I think it's so cute. I think it's so girl bossy. I just think Mike the Tiger is a girl boss. So yeah, that's probably my favorite. Honorable mentions to any other living mascot, especially ones that I can pet, or that have funny stories. Any school that like takes care of their animals, that's important. Yeah, that's my opinion. It is right. That's it.
We got our oat milk. Cheers.
Oh, wait, hold on. I'm not even recording. I'm recording now.
sell
Okay.
out.
I can't believe you got oat milk.
I feel like I sell out.
Oh,
every
okay, wait.
goddamn
Yeah.
day.
So is this gonna change your mind? Is this gonna change your mind?
is the
Like, what if
only
you
one.
drink
It's
this and you're like, ooh?
mediocre. Mediocre.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. Jesus Christ.
I almost only have this with Oreos, so I now associate it with Oreos.
It's a good thing to associate it with.
Yeah, I'll associate anything with Oreos.
I'm seeing some
What's your-
grimaces over here though, so
what's
I'm
your
guessing it's
opinion on
not.
that?
I appreciate the creaminess. I detest everything else.
Detaste is a good combination of that word, though.
Yeah.
I think that a lot.
Detaste.
It just has a
Detaste is
really weird
detestable.
aftertaste.
I've gotten used to the
Yeah.
the oat milk aftertaste, and I kind of enjoy it now.
Good
Have
for
you had oat milk with oatmeal?
Yeah, my roommate does that.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's
Is that like a little bit too much oat?
Yeah, that's
probably.
yeah, oat squared.
Yeah, that's
Like, look
dangerous.
at
That's
that. Like,
definitely.
do you see that?
It's
That's
a little bit weird that it's like brown.
I feel like I've asserted myself as like an oat milk, despite
Hater.
yeah, and
I will
all the
also,
tote bags are
I'll
coming
never
after me.
ask. I'll never ask like, can I get a coffee with oat milk? Like, I'm just gonna get a coffee. If I'm being honest.
Yeah, you don't.
You
wanna
just don't
embarrass
put milk in your
yourself more than
coffee.
You usually
I get
do.
cream and sugar, baby.
Problem
I can't
solved.
drink a
No,
non-sugary
black coffee. What are
Ew.
you talking about?
I go to Dunkin'. I get a caramelized coffee because it just is it's just caramel water.
Caramel sewer.
I mean, your first
water.
mistake is going to Dunkin'.
No,
That's your
Dunkin's
first
the one to
mistake.
go to. Dunkin's better.
Really?
I like the
No.
character that Dunkin' has. You get a different drink every time. You don't know if it's gonna be good or bad. It's exciting. It's like rolling the dice.
I don't feel like playing Russian roulette before noon.
I
And if
Exactly.
it's with my
exclusively play
coffee,
Russian roulette before
I
noon.
have my car on campus. One of the few things I use it to do is to drive to the Spring Garden Starbucks.
That's a new development, though. Get off your high horse.
I've been really. It's like my time. You know, maybe it could have been my hot take, but
That Starbucks is better than Dunkin'. Or
no,
that
the
having a
Spring Garden.
car-
Yeah, well, you know, I am better than you, but
Okay.
that goes without
This
saying.
is my podcast.
This is my
I'm giving you the outlet to speak. So, all right. Should we talk about Sophia?
Let's. So yeah, by now I feel like yeah, we should probably talk about the video that y'all just watched. And I feel like Mike the Tiger is a good shout for best mascot. In terms of mascots out there, Mike the Tiger is one of the better
when
ones.
they said Louisiana State, I was like, "What's that? That's LSU, right?"
It's LSU.
I was like, "What the fuck is Louisiana?"
They won the national
State?"
championship like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
y'all know- so-
Mike the Tiger's a good shout, I feel like. I like that we're doing more like mascots, because I was thinking originally like logos, and I feel like
Yeah.
so many logos are just letters. It's like an M for Maryland or a T
There's
for
usually a
Temple. Like
sports
that's
logo, though,
boring.
You know, a character logo.
But like Maryland, like the terrapin
What's a terrapin?
is so much
It's
cooler
a turtle,
than other
it's a
ones.
snapping turtle.
So why can't they just call it a turtle?
Because it's a specific kind of turtle. It's a snapping
Because
turtle.
it's
You
not a
said
turtle
or just a
technically.
turtle? Oh, is it a different
Turtles are a
species?
type of terrapin.
Turtles are a
Turtles are a type of terrapin.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Terrapin is the overarching term.
Oh,
Did not know
Yeah,
that.
I think. I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
We should probably
Yeah.
explain why we're doing college mascots, because I thought the take was going to be college related, and it wasn't. But I am going to a college basketball game in 30 minutes, so it still makes sense. College sports
Hype.
works.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I came in and
How
just
dare you?
messed up your.
Unbelievable. No,
I
it doesn't
didn't.
matter. I don't care.
My
This pod-
yeah.
We barely get the expert takes in time anyway. Like,
True.
I think I received, to no fault of Sophia, I let them know today, so we get takes. I got this like 3 hours ago.
We're very on the ball here at Pipe and Hot.
Okay,
We
if
try
we're
our
going-
best.
If we're going college, like actual like mascot character, I'm gonna give a
Mhm.
shout to University of Georgia because they have a bulldog, and the
Yeah.
bulldog one is adorable, and 2, its name is Uga, which I just love
Aw,
because
that's
it's
Uga the
cute.
bulldog.
Yeah.
Adorable.
So
It's also one of the few schools with an actual live mascot. Like they're not some dude dressed up in a suit. Like
well, didn't
them,
they say that Mike the Tiger?
Texas.
Didn't they say they have a tiger?
Yeah, Mike the Tiger's one of them
Okay.
Is
too.
that
But
how
like, you know what I mean? Like,
animal
Oh, it probably is. Isn't there
oh
more
yeah, almost
tigers
certainly.
domestically owned in the United States than there are in the wild?
I think so.
I
Yeah,
think
I
it might
think
have
that's
been
right.
even in the
sense.
state of Texas.
I mean, I'm sure that was one of the things they talked about in the Tiger King
Damn,
show.
I forgot about
Whatever.
that shit.
Yeah. I'm sure they talked about that. That was a moment. That was when no one had any idea what was going on with COVID. So much so that we all enjoyed that show. Like it's kind of unbelievable
I think we were all
that
in a
that show
weird
got as big as it
headspace.
did.
I don't think that show's that good. The ending
Never
kinda
watched it.
sucks.
Yeah, it seemed kind of all over the place, but
Hot
a
take.
moment in history nonetheless.
You know what would be a really good like sci-fi like idea?
Give it to me.
If
Pitch it.
someone like let's say you in March 1st was just like out of the world,
Oh,
universe in a
yeah.
black hole, and then today got put back in, and then just they'll pass like 2 years.
You like didn't know.
You
that
just had
COVID
no
happened.
idea, nothing, and you just walked along the streets. You were like, "Why is everyone wearing masks?" Like, why? Did you guys see that thing from Joe Biden? Like, he was like, "Every day you see people parking on the McDonald's to like." It said something completely like that did not make sense. I don't
Neither did what he said, so it kind of fit.
Yeah. Maybe that's not a good sci-fi idea.
No,
but
I've always wondered. Well, not always. I've wondered for the past year and a half what I guess everyone has. If COVID didn't happen, what it would be like today. That's what I thought you were gonna say.
yeah, I mean, I guess you could also like if someone was in a coma and like just woke up.
There are. I'm sure there have been. We could
Yeah,
probably
that
look
would
Oh
be-
it
yeah,
up.
that'd
there
be
got to be
really
a couple
interesting.
people out there. I feel like
Dear
the biggest
coma
sci-fi
person.
question.
What was it? Person in a coma? Dear person in a coma.
Person of homo.
First of all, I'm sorry I offended you. Second
Second of all, thank you for tuning in to Pipe and Hot.
Thank you for tuning in. Third of all,
Smash that like button.
special motherfucking like
Thank
button.
you.
Fourth of all, what's it like?
What's cracking?
What's cracking?
That's
My guy.
crazy.
How much of the death of Harambe had to play with COVID?
Oh
like
my
the
God.
butterfly effect?
The
Like how much of an impact do you think that had?
when somebody said the Harambe timeline, I was like, holy shit. Because, like, you can pinpoint, you can do it, you can pinpoint anything anywhere and be like, this, was the catalyst for something. It really kind of does feel like that set a lot of things off. Have you heard this? That, like,
It's crazy.
you might know it better than I do.
It's just kind of like everything. People used to say that it was like 2012 was when things like started getting like wacky. Like they were always like 2012 was like the year the world actually ended. Like we're just in some type of like hellscape, if you will. But then like 4 years later, like Harambe happened basically. And everyone was like, "Oh, that's so sad. That's whatever. It's tragic. It's sad." And I feel like the biggest thing at the time was a shift in like the internet. Like all of a sudden, like you could tell memes got different. Like we went from these rage memes to like very self-aware, like very different. Like it just kind of exploded. Everything went crazy. And like since 2016, there's just been this change in like how everything is dealt with. Like prior to 2016, like we never would have imagined like Hillary Clinton being like Pokemon go to the polls. Like just the stupidest shit like that
Forgot
never
about that.
happened prior to
Killing
Harambe.
it. Cedar Rapids.
Yeah, like all this like weird stuff, and like since then like so many like terrible things have happened as well that like are all kind of like if you look at the couple years prior to 2016 compared to like I guess like the 5 years since 2016 now, it's just been like a shit show for the past 5 years. And so people are like call it like the Harambe effect, basically like a butterfly effect. Like if Harambe hadn't been shot, like how much would it be different today?
Well, I thought it was more concrete than that because I thought it was like Harambe got shot. Oh fuck. It became a meme. Donald Trump didn't win the popular election. Only won the electoral college election by whatever certain number of votes, and a ton of people wrote in Harambe that may or may not have voted one way or the other. Like I thought it was more concrete. That it
Oh,
was like
I didn't hear the more concrete one. I just heard like the more broader.
no, that it was like literally like people wrote in Harambe, which the people that did
Yes,
that
yes.
may have written in anything, but
Mhm.
they also very well could have gone one or the other, or not voted at all, which would have potentially swayed things also. Who knows? But that's what I thought it was. It was like, that thing happened. The 2016 election was, 5 months later? And
Yeah.
realistically, Hillary Clinton should have won, but because of the whatever marginal amount of votes in different states, she didn't. And so if the Harambe thing hadn't happened, she probably, which is hypothetical, would have won. And then COVID literally would have been handled very, very differently. I don't think we'd be in the state that we're in today. I think we'd be a little bit better off. I don't think it would have been great. You know, it was still terrible.
Well, we would have had a pandemic agency.
We would have had,
help deal with
a
it.
task force. Like,
Yeah.
and anything that happened in the Trump agency probably would not have happened under Clinton. You know, other bad shit probably would have happened, but, you know, comparatively not quite as bad. So that's what I thought it was. Like, Harambe actually set
That's
things in
wild.
motion.
I hadn't heard that aspect of it. I just kind of heard that like you know, like the meme of the domino where it's like the guy knocking over the very small domino and it builds like the giant one. Like that's what it was, where it was like Harambe like 2016 and then like whatever's happening like now, and it always comes back to like that one incident.
Did you see that meme? The one that's the funniest one to me is it was like 9/11 and then the movie after, the Harry Styles fanfic movie after. Have you heard that?
Yeah.
That like after 9/11, or Gerard Way said that he would not have made My Chemical Romance like if 9/11 hadn't happened. Like I think his dad died in 9/11 or that, and that like inspired like set off like I need to do what I love or something like that. And then Stephanie Myers wrote Twilight based off one of the My Chemical Romance songs.
Yeah.
And then what's her name? Who's the one that wrote 50 Shades of Grey?
I'm blanking on her name right now.
Yeah,
but
the woman who wrote 50 Shades of Grey
50
wrote
Shades of
that.
Grey was
It
published
a
'cause of it.
fanfic of Twilight, and then somebody wrote the maybe it wasn't the Harry Styles one, but it was something around the 50 Shades of Grey. I think that connects somehow. That fanfic was inspired by 50 Shades of Grey.
We should watch that because you know how we were watching Twilight last year. I
We never
just watched the third after movie, and I hate watched the whole thing.
I didn't
and
realize
loved
that there was
it.
3.
You have to buy. I like rented it for $20 on Apple
Holy
TV,
shit!
and I was like, no
Oh
one
my
bothered
God.
me.
$20?
Yes.
So do you have it? You own it now because you bought it?
No, I rented it for. I would spend another $20 though. So I feel we have to start it after 1.
I've seen bits of it because there was a commentary track that I watched, so I kind of know it, but I'd watch it because I haven't seen it.
Because the girl is the sister, I suppose, of that girl in 13 Reasons Why.
Is she really?
Like that, the girl.
The reason why?
Oh my god.
She's-
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that movie
Is my
is
13th reason.
But yeah, I hate watched the whole thing and I loved it.
I do like a good hate watch. I feel like I did that with. Oh, I tried to hate watch Outer Banks with my sister, and I got really hooked, and I really
You got really into it, didn't
it's
you?
Really good. It's really fun.
Outer Banks, really?
Yeah. Oh my god, it's great.
Oh.
I feel like the treasure hunt genre is almost dead. Like even the Uncharted movie just looks like a superhero movie.
It's-
Like it doesn't look
It's
like a
looking tough.
treasure hunt.
It's looking rough.
And Outer Banks is like kids going on a chase for gold. It's fucking great. It's awesome.
Well, what did they call the kids who were like?
Oh, the Pogues. The Pogues and the Kooks, baby.
Like that is so
Team
funny.
Pogue for life.
Oh my god! And then that TikTok song, it's like, God, you are so worried I'm gonna sleep with the Pogue like you did.
Well, guess what? I already did.
I was like, what?
That's actually a very impactful scene. It's actually not at all. That character is like, probably my least favorite character.
Pogue. Pogue sounds like
Pogue
pug.
for life. Pogue
And
sounds like a slur.
Pug is kind of like a bulldog, and the bulldog is at LSU, and that's how.
You were so
LSU.
close.
So close. That
You were
was so close to
You
the
almost got it.
perfect.
That was the
Damn.
domino. That was almost
So
there.
close.
And that is how Georgia University made the show.
Outer Banks.
Nice.
Thank you.
Do you have a mascot that comes to mind when you can think? When you
I
think of
love
good
our
mascots?
mascot, Hooter and
I-
Stella, and they bring him to the football games. I do think it's kind of rude that they just assume they're in this relationship.
They do.
Hooter and Stella.
Hooter is so much bigger than Stella. Their sex has to be freaky. He keeps the head
Well,
on.
Temple is.
I'm trying to keep it out.
Does Maryland have a live
It's a hoot
turf?
and a holler.
Fucking hell yeah.
No.
No,
I'm almost certain we
whatever.
don't.
That's the second time What?
We have bronze terrapins all over the place, but I
True.
don't think we don't have a terrapin that comes to our games. I suppose
We have
for
a live
obvious reasons.
owl. We have
but-
Stella.
Oh my god, like the terrapin
Damn.
walks, because turtles are slow, right? So it just like walks across. There you go, buddy.
The whole game, they just make their way down the sideline.
Yeah, we just got a man dressed in a suit as a terrapin. We don't actually got a real terrapin, unfortunately. But I'd say terrapin is like pretty B tier for college mascots. I'm glad that we have
Terrapin.
an animal.
It's original and it's still somewhat
Yeah.
threatening.
A little bit, yeah, just like a
turtle?
tad.
Snapping
Yeah.
turtles can bite your goddamn fingers off.
How big are they?
They're big. There was a snapping turtle
like,
in my backyard when I was younger,
Big.
and I went to I was like 6, and I like went like this, and my mom was like, "Stop it!" It's like it's the size of maybe 2 pumpkin pies or something. It's a good
Happy
healthy.
Thanksgiving.
Americans
They're
will
also,
use
like-
anything but the metric system. Case in point.
They're like hefty too. Like they're like tall.
They are
and
Yeah.
thick. Yeah.
They can.
Oh, wait,
be.
okay, question. If you could create your own mascot,
Ooh.
1, 2, 3, snails.
I got nothing. I can just only think of snails now.
Isn't that? Oh no, that's a slug. That's never mind.
Yeah, slug. I
snail
have
would
the
be sick.
banana slugs on my shirt.
Yeah,
On my shirts.
like the
1, 2,
snail,
3
like the one
gazebos.
that's coming to like kill you, or like
That's our
just
high school
snails in
mascot.
general.
Oh, okay, sorry.
How dare you? We've said that on the pod, right? I feel like people should know if they don't know already.
Yeah, they have to know that we're
Wait.
Obazags.
I got my key school mask. This is our high school. We were the key school Obizags, which is gazebo spelled backwards.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
We were ranked 2nd worst mascot in the country.
Oh my god.
By
Wait, the
USA
gazebo,
Today.
like
We were
that
close.
thing that...
Yeah, like
so
the
it's
wooden
not an
structure.
animal?
Mm-mm. It's also not threatening. It's also non-existent because it's spelled backwards.
yeah.
Um,
Anywho,
Do you have any ideas, Cameron?
yeah, if you could make a mascot.
you know, iguana.
Ooh,
Oh,
I like that.
toucan? Maybe a toucan?
Toucan. I would try and go like a marine animal. Like
Ooh.
I'm sure hammerhead sharks is like one that exists already.
Did you ever look
Yeah.
at someone and you're like, you look like a hammerhead shark?
I hope every day that somebody looks at me and thinks,
Ooh.
looks like a hammerhead shark.
Like, what was it, Shark Tales? Or Fish Tales?
Shark Tale.
Shark Tales.
Fish Tales was the Disney Channel show. Right, fish hooks.
Fish.
hooks.
Fish. Yeah, that was H2O.
What?
Why are so many shows underwater?
No, that was Aquamarine.
Fish Tales?
Shark Tales.
Shark. No.
What did you
Anyway.
the Will Smith movie?
Finding
you look
Nemo.
like a hammerhead shark.
Hit me up.
DMs are
I'm
open.
looking for this.
I'm trying to get my hammerhead.
Wow, I am funny.
Damn.
God damn it.
I can't think of like any like original good animal that hasn't been used, a billion times.
Like a panda?
But that's not very threatening though. You want something that's like could hurt you.
You want
The
something
panda's mightier than
imposing.
the sword.
You want something that
The
wins all the
panda's mightier
time.
than the sword.
I meant the
It
pen,
is.
but
Because that's
Panda-
really good.
the that's
You should have taken credit for
I'll
it.
take credit for
I
it.
like how you're cradling your oat milk.
I don't want it.
Well,
Can you
I don't want it either. Here, Cameron.
I mean, I would take some.
Here,
Target here doesn't
It'll make
carry
your
oat
bones
milk,
nice and
unfortunately.
it'll make your.
No, you gotta stand for that.
You can stand.
I will not stand for this. All right, we're devolving.
Woo!
Anything else you'd like to say to the people?
Well, I hope this was a good first. I hope this was a good first impression.
I think Cameron. Can you verify? Was this a good first impression?
Can confirm. Great first impression.
The tote bag. Colt, please do not come after me, and I am referring to you.
That's homophobic.
That's funny. I'm literally. Is that what's on that tote bag?
My friend made it for me. It's a cassette player that says "Serendipity has never been so kind."
Do you have a satchel? You would have a satchel.
I do have a satchel. I never
He
use
would.
it though. My mom got it for me because it's like an industrial, like it. It's worth like $60, and she got it for like 10. I was like, here you go.
Wow, that's actually a really cute tote bag. I have a Van Gogh tote bag.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, so I mean, I am.
Made by Van Gogh.
So this is your coming out.
It's called
episode.
self-hatred.
Having a tote bag or being gay. Is this
Here are all
podcast homophobic? Question.
hot takes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You're bi.
Yeah.
I'm homophobic. I want to. I'm not. I haven't. I'm not gonna play it yet in the edit. At the end of the episode, I'm gonna play the other Sophia clip. So, Sophia.
Oh yeah. For
prepare
sure.
to get canceled by the tote bag mafia. I like that as a slur for the gay community. For the bi community is the tote bag mafia.
The tope. What about something that starts with a T? So it's like a T.
Tote bag. What's
The tote bag tango.
Tote bag tango. I was gonna say tantrum. What's a group? Starts with a T.
Tote bag tyranny.
Nice.
Bingo. There we go. So
There
fun.
it is.
All right. Well.
Can't believe I just came up with a slur on the podcast.
Can't believe
Anyways.
it's not gonna age well. Hello, future employers.
Yeah, is this gonna?
Thank you
affect
for tuning
my,
in to Pipe and
Absolutely
Hot.
not. If they made it to the end of this podcast, I'm getting hired, right? You like me
Yeah, of
enough.
course.
Like you've listened to
Of
all this
course.
shit. Or they're hate listening.
They might be. Either way.
How much of your consumption of media is just hate consumption?
As little as possible. I don't
Okay.
think I try not to do that.
That's good. Mine is.
I'll
a
hate.
little bit
It's
I
quite
higher.
get down
healthy.
hate binges of YouTube more often. Also, my
Mhm.
video has totally stopped.
It's just me on the screen again.
But we're gonna end this. So, thank you for listening.
I will come back next week. You don't have to ask.
Hi everyone. Ew, I sound gay.